Hi there, my name is Aaron, and welcome back to the movie library. I haven't been in here a while, but I decided to come in here for Reviewed and Ranked. And tonight I am doing a really hard task. So when you're going to be seeing this is on Tuesday, but I'm filming this earlier, so just so you know, and it's the magic of the internet. I thought I'd show you the movie library again for a change. And tonight I am wearing my Fright Rags limited edition Lucio Fulci shirt, and I'm wearing it for a specific reason because it has to do with Reviewed and Ranked, and one of the hardest things that I've ever had to review and rank is well, might as well get right into it. It's the Gates of Hell trilogy. So if you're not familiar with the Gates of Hell trilogy, let me put it to you in this way. It's it's Fulci's it's Fulci's trilogy. It's definitely a masterpiece. It was shot between 1980 and 1981. They were actually all released in basically a 2 to 3 year period, and they were shot pretty much on location, whether it be in New York or New Orleans. And it was a time of great productivity for Lucio Fulci. Fulci did a lot of different, did a lot of different stuff, a lot of really cool quality work. And why is this one of the hardest ones to review and rank? In all honesty, because all three films are brilliant. They are some of the best Italian horror that's out there, and the fact that it's a trilogy that is of this high quality, made in this short a time period by a much maligned director, kind of blows my mind. But the films are as follows: City of the Living Dead. It's pretty much it's a supernatural mind melt of a film about a girl that has a vision of a priest that's hanging himself. It has to do with opening up the gates of hell and the dead walking through and stopping that from happening. And a lot of craziness happens all throughout. That's what we're going to go with here. And then we get to the second one about a girl named Liza, played by Katrina McCall, who's in the first one as well, by the way. Different same actor, different character, and she's opening up this this hotel in New Orleans that is in a very bad place, and crazy, insane stuff starts to happen. We get the who plays the. I want to say. Let me just see if I can find her here. Because there is this girl, this blind character that is brilliantly done. Anyway, and the third one breaks from tradition. It's kind of goes in the line of The Shining in a weird way, in that it's a guy that's pretty much he's I think it's an we'll say historian. That's not the right word I'm looking for. I'll look on here in the back, and I will cheat and find out and just see if they say it. Like an anthropologist. Basically, he's gone to this house where his where somebody that he worked with before has has met their demise. With it's insane. It's fun. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I just watched this around 2 nights ago, so you wouldn't think I'd be so tongue tied with coming up with the actual plot line of it. But it's the visuals that stick out. It's what really sticks me with the film. Suspiria is the same way with Argento. Basically, you can probably give a basic linear idea of what the plot is, but none of that matters. None of that is really what you're watching Suspiria for. You're not watching Suspiria for a linear plot. You're not watching these here for the linear plot. You're watching this because it is gorgeous. It is so well shot. It is well done, and it is beyond what you'll normally see in your average horror film. Get it? Beyond. I didn't really try that, but we'll go with that anyway. So, ranking these, because there's no like true way to put up a good review other than the fact that, and I could go through, and one of these days I'm gonna like thoroughly watch all the features again, and I watched all three of these films this week. but I want to dive deeper. And I won't be doing that until I get the Stephen Thrower book Beyond Terror. When I get that, then we'll dive even deeper into that. And I've been watching some interviews with Thrower recently as well on some of the Blue Underground releases that I got. I do recommend that you check out that Blue Underground release of House by the Cemetery, by the way, because it is utterly gorgeous, as is the New York Ripper. I'll be reviewing both of those titles in the upcoming, in the near future. But tonight I have to rank the Gates of Hell trilogy. And here's the thing. I could just say, well, they're all even. They're all really great. But that's not fair. That doesn't help with a ranking video. But they are all great. They are all fantastically well done, amazing films. And that's what makes it even harder. Fulci, when you watch stuff like this, and then you see some stuff that goes out there, like that people say about Fulci, it really gets to you, because the genius work that's done in these three films, and it is genius work that is done in these three films, from the cinematography, just to the way that it's shot, to the way that he lit, the way that his use of colors, his use of characters, and the dreamlike just quality that kind of wafts its way throughout the entirety of these three films, kind of like spirals, and you get these nightmarish sequences that shouldn't and wouldn't work under any other circumstances, but they work, and sometimes they don't always. Sometimes they always make sense in the structure of the narrative that's being used. But if you were to say, read off what the plot is basically, it's not going to make as much sense. And here, tell you what, let's do that. You got three really small plot synopsises on here. That should give us the idea, right? That's what I want to kind of prove. A psychic buried alive, a mysterious vision, a hanged priest, and a prediction of zombie-fueled apocalypse. Can anything be done to save man from gut-munching oblivion? In the sleepy village town of Dunwich, the dead are rising. Local girls are vomiting entrails, and the town misfit is about to get his brains drilled out. Will he be able to find a way to stop the rotting hordes before everyone in town gets devoured? So what do you know about the film from that? They're trying to stop some zombies, maybe? In all honesty, do you really understand it any more now after me reading the back of it than you did with me just talking about the fact that that is gorgeously and horrifically done? Probably not. Let's go with the next one. If your new business venture is seated on the cursed gateway to the hell dimension of the beyond, then maybe it's time to move elsewhere. But Liza is determined to make her New Orleans hotel work until strange things start happening. People vanish. Her waking thoughts are haunted by a ghostly blind woman who seems to hold the answers to the whole bizarre fever dream. That's a good way to describe this, actually. As reality breaks down and the plot explodes, Liza must journey far from everything she understands and descend into the beyond. That is so true. Actually, that's a pretty good plot description. Fever dream is the thing that you want to stand on here. House by the Cemetery is one of the finest typical single-minded exercises in zombie terror. It's just a shame no one told the Boyle family moves into a gothic-style house by a cemetery, of course, with a bloody past and gut-spraying future, what is yet to come. You'd think they'd twig, given the basement door is nailed shut, that they should get the hell out. Instead, they stay long enough to discover the zombified non-rent-paying lodger. Good enough, as descriptions go, but they all go beyond that. Any film could do that. Any film could be like a zombie film, or any film could be okay, the best description is in the second one, The Gates of Hell. But the idea is that these films work not just because of the insane scripting, much in the way that a Lynchian film works. They work sometimes in spite of it. There's a quality to these films, something that you really can't put your finger on, but you know it when you see it. You know that's there. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do is review these films, and I've reviewed some pretty whacked out films, guys, over the years. So let's rank them. That's the best way to go about this. Let's rank them, and then I can talk about them a little bit more. So I'm going to rank now. All three of these films I think are utter masterpieces. Let's get that out of the way. It's not something that's going to be a huge surprise to you from what I've said so far. But it's putting them in the order that I personally enjoyed them. All right. I love all three of these films, and I go back and forth over and over again on which ones that I like most. But yeah, let's go with it. And it's really number 3 and 2 that I go back and forth on. Number 1, I'm pretty solid on, and I'm pretty alone on, I think. But number 3, City of the Living Dead. A fantastic film with a wonderful cast with Christopher George and Katrina McCall doing amazing jobs in this film. And it's just right to the very last second. It is pure horror and beauty mixed together, and it is wonderfully well done, well shot, and well directed. But something's got to be number 3, so it's City of the Living Dead. In second place, and I almost reversed it, just so you know, is the Lucio Fulci supernatural classic, his supernatural classic, The Beyond. Now, this is where most of the outrage is going to come from this video. This here is probably considered one of the great horror films, especially great supernatural horror films of all time, and one of the great Italian horror films of all time as well. It is gorgeous. It is amazingly shot. The way that it's done, it is definitely almost I don't know, Fellini meets Mario Bava. It's different. It's unique. It's weird, but it's everything works and nothing doesn't work. Everything works and nothing doesn't not work is the best way to put this. But it's still in number 2 because my personal favorite, and the one that I just enjoy the most, and I get the most personal pleasure out of, is House by the Cemetery. I love everything about this. And this is usually like a lesser one for some people. They don't like the character of Bob. The little kid, they just don't like the way that it's done. They don't like, they're bothered by the kind of the ambiguity of the ending. But like, let's face it, 2 out of 3 of these films have an extremely ambiguous ending. But I took it for definitely what it was. And House by the Cemetery, there's a reason this is my, like, one of my first 4K releases that I got from Fulci. House by the Cemetery is one of my favorite films, bar none, let alone from Fulci. I just love that film, and I've watched it over and over again. I have the 4K of it now, and I've watched that twice since I got it. I watched it once without commentary, once with commentary, and I'm probably going to be sitting back and watching, if I get the time, if it's not too late, I want to watch New York Ripper tonight, which on 4K, which is another really cool release. So this has been a bit of a different type of video because Fulci, you did it. You challenged me. You made me kind of like go through these films and watch them and experience them like one right after the other, and I had a blast. But one film almost they were different, but they all kind of blended together into this one kind of phantasmagoric experience that in ways truly did move me. And I gotta say, I loved it. One of the most, honestly, just enthralling reviewed and ranked videos that that I had the pleasure to research, and hopefully that somewhere throughout this myriad of like conversation and talking, that you've enjoyed as well. I am Aaron. This has been Reviewed and Ranked. It's been a very different one, and maybe in between all the talk and hyperbole and the conversation that we've had, that at times has made Lynchian sense, you get what I mean. Talk to you soon. See you later, right here in the Cult of Cinema.